Welcome to another edition of Bet with Bobano, Wednesday, July 24th. Ian Cameron with you. Back after unfortunately, we had some technical problems yesterday. We couldn't get the show recorded, but we are back. Things are back in order today. We are back on Bet with Bobano for the Wednesday edition. Obviously, Wednesday, a lot of day games. A lot of games have already begun, but we will preview the rest of the MLB card coming up for the remainder of the show. Before we get into that, a reminder of the discount for the Dub Club subscription for the next 6 months of all sports coverage, $400 down to $250 US, all sports now through January. And by the way, we are a week away, pretty much, Thursday, August the 1st, the release of my annual NFL and college football season win totals and futures betting report. We are in the preparation stage of getting that report ready. All my win totals bets for NFL, for college football. We've got futures bets. We've even got, and it's not just in college football, conference futures, division futures, national championship futures. We'll have a few, prop bets, like we might even get into the Heisman market, for instance, this year in college football. NFL, we're going to get into offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, MVP, regular season, rookie of the year. We'll get into, there's a few bets I've placed across those markets prior to the NFL season. And of course, division futures, conference futures, Super Bowl futures will be part of that, along with season win totals for many NFL teams as well. So all of that will be part of that report that will be posted for Dub Club members and subscribers next Thursday, August the 1st. Looking forward to that for sure. Great preamble, if you will, and a great way to get you ready for the NFL and college football season, because the way it's going to work with the report next Thursday is a lot of the teams that I'll be betting over their win total are a lot of teams I'm going to be looking to bet on early in the season as well, week to week. And then conversely, the teams that I'm betting under their regular season win total, NFL and college football, likely more likely to be teams that I'm betting against early in the season. So it's going to be a great way to get you ready for the season and give you a really good insight, really good view into how I personally, project these teams going into the new season. So that report will be next Thursday. That will be part of the subscription. If you sign up, any subscription actually will get you that. I know, and by the way, the 6 months all sports discounts valid until August 24th. So you have a month. The first day of the college football season is when this particular 6-month discount offer expires at Dub Club. So you still got a month to take advantage of it and sign up for it. And again, we're coming off a combined 22.2 units of profit season in NFL and college football last year. So that's available again till the August 24th. The other subscription rates for Dub Club are all back to their regular prices, 1 month, 3 months, and 1 year. And of course, Dub Club is where you get the full card, every bet, every day, every sport. But if you're looking for something a little bit simplistic, a little shorter, you want an isolated version of my card daily, top plays, best bets only. For those of you that are not high volume bettors, you could go with the SoBet subscription option as well. There's the link on the screen. It's $9.95 per month. It not only gives you the best bet card daily in all sports for me, but you can actually gain access to all the content and picks from all the other handicappers, bettors, and content providers on the SoBet platform as well. So that's available to you for just $9.95 per month. The top play, best bet only version of the card in all sports. And there is the link on the screen to sign up for that. All right, let's get into the Wednesday MLB card. What's left of it. Pretty much all the night games. We will begin with what is game 2 of a day-night doubleheader between the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. These teams played earlier today. Cincinnati got a 9-4 victory over Atlanta. Now the second game of the doubleheader will be Nick Martinez for the Reds, Chris Sale for the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta minus 180, home favorites, 7.5 the total in this game. Usually in these doubleheader situations, we have one team winning the first game. Usually I'll like to back the losing team of the first game in the second game of the doubleheader. And obviously, Chris Sale has been as bet on a pitcher as there's been in Major League Baseball this season. He's been absolutely tremendous. What a bounce back, comeback type of season he's had. His last start before the All-Star break, 1 run, 4 hits, 5 innings. He's given up just a grand total of 6 runs over his last 5 starts, and that's over a span of 28 innings. So, Chris Sale's been absolutely terrific for the Braves. Bounce back situation for the Braves after losing the first game. And, they face a pitcher that they might be able to take advantage of. Now, Nick Martinez, he has not made a start for the Reds since May 22nd, but he did make 5 starts early in the season, March 31st through to May 22nd. And the last 4 starts, he gave up at least 5 runs in all of them. So not exactly someone I project for, a boatload of success tonight here for this Cincinnati team. So maybe you do an Atlanta first 5 full game run line split. You could take -0.5 in the first 5 with the Braves on the run line, -1 full game. Certainly would lean in that direction. I have not placed a bet on this game. I don't know if I will, but that's definitely the direction I would be looking at here. Would be Atlanta in some form after losing the first game of the doubleheader today. All right, we move along. Next up, it is Baltimore, Miami. We've got McDermott on the mound for the Orioles, making his major league debut actually here for them today for the Baltimore Orioles. And it looks like it is going to be Chase McDermott, and it's going to be Edward Cabrera for Miami. We've got Baltimore -130 to -140. Road favorites, 8 the total. I don't want to take Baltimore right now. They're not playing great. They finally hit, kind of like Cleveland, they finally hit a little bit of a rough patch, probably their toughest stretch, their worst baseball of the season being played right now. And that's not me saying that. That's Brandon Hyde, the manager, saying that. And he said it last night after the loss to Miami, that they're playing sloppy. Pitching hasn't been great. They haven't been hitting nearly as well. So, you're not exactly getting a bargain anymore to bet Baltimore because, look, they're 60-40 on the season. You're actually still profitable. They are still a profitable team this year, but lately they haven't been. And they're not playing great ball right now. Don't really know what we're going to get out of Chase McDermott here in his debut here for the Orioles. I'm not a big fan of Cabrera, I can tell you that, for Miami. Edward Cabrera comes into this start struggling here at times, although he has pitched better at Marlins Park. There is a little bit of a home road split going on with him, where he has a 12 ERA on the road, 5 ERA at home, which is still not great. We'll see how he fares here in this one. I'd lean to the over a little bit here with the Orioles and Marlins. We saw obviously last night's total between these two teams. It's just a question of what you're going to get out of McDermott. But with Baltimore's form, I'm not laying a price with them on the road right now. It's just that simple. C-Mac in the house. Connor, what do you think? Yeah. Baltimore struggling right now for me. They're not a team I'm looking to lay road chalk with.
Yeah, I don't. Not right now. Not with this team. And what do we get from the start here with McDermott? I don't know what we really have. His numbers weren't great. Even the last few years in the minors, the ERA wasn't great. And he can't get strikeouts. But, Marlins, the big win yesterday, I think you just take them again if you like the dog. Why mess around here? I think the Orioles will be fine. This is the long season. This happens in really good teams, and we'll get to it with a few others. But, yeah, Marlins are nothing. I have nothing on this game.
All right, we got Detroit, Cleveland next up. Jack Flaherty, Tanner Bybee, the pitching matchup here. Cleveland -140, home favorites. The total in this one, 7, shaded to the under. Under definitely makes sense. I mean, you've got 2 guys that we trust, 2 guys that are pretty good pitchers. Bybee has been a little rough at times, and prior to his last start, he was great against San Diego in his last start, but before that, he kind of struggled. And one of the struggles was against this very Detroit Tigers team. He gave up 4 runs, 5 hits, 7 innings. Tigers won that game 5-4. But he's definitely been a little bit better than he was early in the season. Meanwhile, Jack Flaherty's been excellent. He has been pretty much consistently 2 runs or less 4 of his last 5 starts for the Tigers. The Tigers are 4-1 in Flaherty's last 5 starts. I think of all the teams in baseball that I have been betting on the most in the last week or two, it's probably Detroit. I mean, I have been on Detroit a lot. They've been undervalued. They're playing good ball. They're actually to the point now where they're not totally out of the wild card anymore. They're creeping back into the wild card race, and there's a real talk now around this Tigers organization. Are they going to be buyers or are they going to be sellers at the trade deadline? I don't even think they're sure right now, but they've kind of put themselves back into the conversation. We've also talked about Cleveland. They're not playing their best baseball right now. They're just 3-7 in their last 10 games. They did win last night against the Tigers, so it's a 1-1 split so far in this series, but I think Detroit's worth a look here as a dog with Flaherty on the mound. In fact, first 5 full game money line here with Detroit. I do like that with them. Detroit's to me value right now, and to me Cleveland is not value, okay, because Cleveland's not playing their best baseball right now, and you're laying a premium on them at the moment. Plus, you got to love the form of Jack Flaherty right now as well. For this Detroit team. So I think the Tigers might be a live underdog here, and I certainly think it could be a lower scoring kind of duel between them as well. C-Mac, what do you think here? Detroit, Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm on the Tigers here, first 5. It's just hard. Even with that loss yesterday, 5-4, I'm going to buy on this team. I think they hit the skids here, though, late, and I don't think they know what they're doing, like you were saying. I don't think they are going to be buyers and have the money. I just don't think this organization knows what to do. But Flaherty, he's been one guy who's been money all year long. You're getting that. Just consistent. This guy goes out there and a workhorse. Let's see if he can continue it. We're going to really start to see the second half. Some of these guys are going to get to with, innings and shit like that, where they can hold up, especially this day and age with no pitchers. Yeah. Go past 7 and they're all have limits and yada, yada. Bibby's last start was really good. He was kind of shaky right before the break. But this price is too big. Yeah, I think at plus 120, that's what I grabbed the Tigers first 5. You mentioned they got 4 or 5 of them early. They have some good numbers off Bobby, and it's tough because this may be – I get a few runs here because, yeah, maybe it's 2-1 after 5, but I like it. I'm on it.
All right, next up we've got Padres and Nationals. Waldron on the mound here for the Matt Waldron for San Diego. Mitchell Parker for the Nationals. Padres open road favorites, and now the Nats are favored in this game. So we've seen a little change of favorites, 8.5 the total. I actually followed the money a little bit here too because I think Washington, I like Parker at home. And Parker's had a pretty good season. On the road, he's been a little roughed up at times. There's no doubt. But at home, his ERA at Nationals Park is very good. And he's definitely been one of those pitchers we can count on to have a pretty good start. Not to mention, the Padres used to be good against lefties. Not anymore. They have really struggled against lefties. Look what they've done the last 10 games alone. I think they're barely hitting 206 as a team against lefties in the last 10 games, and they're averaging like 2.3 runs per game. I read a stat. They're 1-8, San Diego, in their last 9 road games against a left-handed pitcher. 1-8 in their last 9 road games.
It might be worse than that.
Starter.
Yeah.
It's not good. No, I like Washington here. I think there's a reason why the Nats are taking money, even though the Padres have the better record. And I like the fact they lost yesterday, Washington. So you got them off a loss in the game against the Padres last night. Waldron on the road is kind of up and down. You never know what you're going to get. And for some reason, Waldron, even if he pitches good, they don't hit for him. They have really failed to give him runs this year, San Diego, when he's been on the mound. So I think I kind of like the Nats a little bit here in this game. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is the spot for Parker. Off the shit start, didn't even last an inning. Padres can't hit lefties. And this is another guy who probably will be shut down pretty soon. He just hasn't thrown that much. Came up through the system pretty quick the last 2 or 3 years and just hasn't gone that many. But I think he'll at least go here this next month and get 5 strong innings to Padres team. Yesterday was where he wanted, I think, the Padres. I just can't back him at all. This is a good thing. Even though the Nats, like today, I felt so much better after the Rockies get shut out. Yesterday at home, they hit at home. Nats a little bit different, and the Rockies, man, Tovar came out and a 2-run bomb right away. So that made me happy. But yeah, this is Nats.
Surely I can cash the over in that game. We only need one more run. That Boston-Colorado game is 8-2 last I looked. Yeah.
Was it 11, or did you get a 10.5? Yeah, yeah, 10.5. They should get there with those two pens. But yeah, I like the Nats as well. I think they'd be the look here.
All right, good stuff. I agree with you. Washington here for me as well. All right, next up, Subway Series, Mets and Yankees. Sean Manaea, Garrett Cole. Yankees minus 170, home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. You know, I'm not laying the price with Cole and the Yankees. And of course, the Mets end up getting the victory last night, 3-2. And again, the Yankees are, kind of sputtering again. They kind of got their shit together going into the break. And, coming out of the break here, they're just 2-3 in the 5 games since the break, and including a 3-2 loss last night. That being said, Garrett Cole's been pretty good, since he's been back here, especially the last 2 starts against the Rays and the Orioles. He was really strong for this Yankees team. So I'm not rushing to take the Mets, and Sean Manaea here either. And he got belted a few days ago by the Miami Marlins. 5 runs, 8 hits in 5 innings of work. He faced the Yankees a few years ago and got crushed by them. He did face them earlier this season at Shea Stadium, or not Shea Stadium, Citi Field. I still want to call it Shea Stadium every now and then. Citi Field, and he actually pitched well. 2 hits, shutout, 5 innings. Mets win 12-2. I'd lean Mets. I think there's a little value. But again, I've said this. I know, C-Mac, you've been here with me too, and I've said this about the Mets. Their offense, which was rolling going into the All-Star break, is not exactly lighting it up coming out of the All-Star break. So that definitely concerns me here going up against Cole. So I lean Mets, but it's a pass for me. C-Mac, what do you think here? Mets, Yankees.
Yeah, just the confidence isn't there with the Yankees. I mean, for me, you'd have to lay run line. And do you feel that way? Like Garrett Cole's looked better the last 2 starts. Is that enough for you? But this team just hasn't been winning. Hey, I just think they're a stay off, unless you love laying the run line here with the home team. I don't want a piece of it at all. You'd have to back the Mets, who aren't really hitting. I know they won, but yeah, there's no runs coming in, and I'm not a Sean Manaea fan at all. I'm surprised he's gone this far. I want to start fading the shit out of him, and I'm worried he could start getting lit up. But he's pitched well so far. But I think the value is with the Mets. But I want nothing to do with it either.
All right, we move along to, and I was in the building last night for this series. It was the Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays last.
Jesus, we'll get to it. Go on.
Great. Now, I was with great people. And it was my first time seeing Rogers Center since the renovations. They've done a great job. It looks like a modern ballpark finally. And it took a while for it to look that way, but it definitely does, at least inside. Externally, it still looks a little older, but internally, it definitely looks a lot. They've spruced the place up, and they've got rooftop patios now. They've got all kinds of these little these sites where it's just like a lookout, and you can onto the ballpark, and places you can
eat fancy wine and sushi and shit.
That kind of thing. Yeah, they've really done a nice job with that. It's probably the only good thing their general manager Ross Atkins has done, is that he's fixed up the spring training facilities and he's renovated Rogers Center, because nothing on the field he's done with the ball club has been any good. But nevertheless, so I'm on the over in that game last night thinking, you know what? This Armstrong has a 5 ERA for the Rays. The guy coming in, Tyler Alexander, I've never been a big fan of him. 6 ERA, and Jays can't hit worth a shit against either of those guys last night. Typical of their whole season. The bad pitchers get him. And that's exactly what happened last night. The over falls short. Should have been on Tampa, because the Jays can't be laying the price like that as a favorite. But sure enough, Tampa got the win there, 4-2 last night. In this game tonight, we've got Zach Eflin for the Rays, Yariel Rodriguez for the Blue Jays. Tampa minus 115 road favorites, 8 the total. Pass for me. I don't want anything to do with this game. I will say this. Tampa Bay probably or nothing for me. I can't take Toronto right now. I just can't. That being said, though, C-Mac, Yariel Rodriguez has pitched pretty solid for them, the last couple of starts. So I'd be a little leery maybe of going against him in particular. But, yeah, no Toronto for me. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, you got to put stuff, sometimes the day before behind you. Because everything you hit there is why I was on their team total the first 5, 2.5. I was like, everything that showed was Armstrong, like you mentioned, that they could get, I thought 3 runs, but this offense just continues to be horrible. But in this game, I'd be back on them here first 5, and it's making me pause. I just don't love it. But because this team continues to be awful. And one thing is Rodriguez walks people. That always drives me crazy. And what do you get from the Rays? I don't know, because I want to fade Eflin on the road. I do it consistently, and it always, my numbers are great when it happens. I mean, he does throw well sometimes, and maybe he does here, but I think there's some value here with the Jays' first five. I know it's ugly. Maybe you don't want to put, maybe something smaller on it, but that's where I'd be.
Yeah, I mean, Yariel's look good. If he negates the walks, he's got swing and miss stuff. He can get strikeouts. He can get you out. He can miss bats. With his stuff, there's no question about that. And is he going to?
Look at all these road starts too. But man, for Eflin though, it's always 4, 5, 4, 3, 4. It's like, but can't like. So I thought the Jays could get last night. I mean, I think they could get 3 or 4, 2 off him. I just don't trust him, but we will see. This team just continues to be a bad baseball team.
They had a couple of solo bombs against, and it wasn't even Alexander. He was out. It was against another one of the Rays relievers. They got those
they yanked
backs from Vladdy and Justin Turner, and that was pretty much it from the Blue Jays offense last night. Justin Turner's going to be gone, by the way, at the trade deadline. Yeah. He'll be traded. Springer will be traded, and Springer's actually got some value now because he's been on a good hot streak here the last a few weeks. So those are the guys that are going to be dealt. Doesn't sound like it's going to be Vladdy or Bichette. Even Kevin Gossman, they said, is probably not going to get traded at the deadline by the Jays. So it's going to be the guys that are on expiring contracts right now going into next season. All right, next up, we've got the White Sox and Texas Rangers. Chris Flexen, Nate Eovaldi, the matchup. Texas minus 270 home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. Flexen for the White Sox got crushed by Kansas City last start out of the break on Friday. 7 runs in just 4.2 innings. He actually pitched pretty solid. Couple of starts before that, and then a couple of bad ones. So it's been all over the map here, really, for Chris Flexen of the Chicago White Sox. What I do know is his road ERA has been worse, 5.83. So that would concern you a little bit. Nate Eovaldi's been solid. He's been very good here at Globe Life in Texas. 2.69 ERA for Nate Eovaldi here in Texas this year. I mean, this should be another, if you ask me, should be another Texas victory. They've won the first 2 games of this series. Flexen's the concern. Could he blow up? And maybe because of that, the game goes over the total. But I'm scared shitless right now betting any Chicago White Sox game over the total. You just can't do it with them. I mean, they can't hit a lick. They've gone under in 5 straight games. I still think under's the play if you're going to bet the total here. The only concern is maybe Flexen, gives up 7 like he did in his last start. But I guarantee you, if it goes over, it's going to be something like 7-1, 7-2 for Texas. They'd have to do all the scoring because you're probably not going to get much from the White Sox, especially with Eovaldi pitching well at home this year. So I'd lean a little under. I'd probably feel a little better about maybe taking a White Sox team total under specifically because there's always a chance maybe Texas explodes, but for me, that's what I would look at. Maybe some kind of White Sox team total under, or still look at the full game under and hope that Texas wins maybe 5-1 tonight instead of 7 or 8-1. What do you think here, C-Mac? White Sox, Rangers.
Yeah, White Sox unders have just been money. When I first look at this game on the outset and just the numbers, this is over 8. But how can you take it? No, I can't. It kept me at a pause, and it keeps me from, like, the White Sox have some good numbers in Eovaldi. They just can't hit a lick, and that is this under 2.5 team total plus 115. I don't know. And the Rangers, I like their team total. It's 4.5. It's minus 140. There's a lot of juice there to get 5 runs. And both pitchers off horrible starts. Flex in the last 2, both against the Mariners. And Eovaldi got tattooed his last start. That's another reason why I can't mess with the total as well. Flexen, I got to be off. Like, I kind of want to take the White Sox here, first 5. Just maybe stay close. I know people like to take the half run. I get it. But I would take the push. So I had a strong lean here, White Sox, first 5.
Well, there you go. Bounce back maybe for Flexen here tonight against this Texas team. We'll see if he can have a better outing. All right, Arizona, Kansas City. Ryan Nelson for the Diamondbacks. Michael Waka Flocka Flame here for the Royals. Pretty much pick them. Actually, no, Kansas City about a minus 125 home favorite here. 9 the total in this game. 6-2 win last night for Arizona after losing the first game. So this will be the series decider, if you will. Ryan Nelson's been better lately after, some struggles earlier on, but he's allowed just 5 runs in his last 18 innings. That's pretty good. And I really like what I've seen out of Waka, all season. He's been very solid. 1 run or less in 4 of his last 5 starts allowed. 2.96 ERA here at Kauffman Stadium. He's been even better at home. I kind of lean Kansas City here, but I respect Ryan Nelson, and I think Arizona still is a team that's playing better baseball. I'm not rushing to bet against them, but I certainly favor Waka right now over Nelson, and it's been great at home, and I would lean Royals. Don't know if I'm betting it, probably not betting it, but we'll throw out a lean here, Kansas City. C-Mac, what do you think here?
Shout out to everyone. Timothy, what's going on? Stimmy OG, my man. Good to see you in here. Tell us what you guys are on tonight as well. Yeah, D-backs. I had a small bet on them yesterday. They win. They lost that first game. I think there's still a little value with them. I mean, I get how you could see the Royals, too. It's kind of a short price for them. This has come down. Opener to 135, 130. It's down to 120, 119. Winds, it's 90 degrees there, but this is a big ballpark. Yesterday, maybe it just went under or pushed. The first game went over barely. Or it did go over the first game. I like the under here. It just Nelson's road starts have been just anything on the road for him. It was his last start in Chicago, where he was great. Again, he just seems to and I know this first 5, it's 5. I got minus 115, but I took the under here. I think Waka can pitch well, and maybe I get beat with the long ball. But this is one where 6 runs beats me. You beat me here, first 5, but I'm on the under.
All right, on the under here for for the Diamondbacks and the Royals. All right, last game, Giants and L.A. Dodgers taking place here. Oh, my gosh, Robbie Ray, talk about a blast from the past here for the San Francisco Giants, and Tyler Glasnow here for the Dodgers tonight. We've got Dodgers minus 185, home favorites, 8 being the total here in this game. Robbie Ray back in our lives once again. His first start in a Giants uniform, his first major league appearance since March of last season, making his return from Tommy John surgery. He also had a forearm tendon tear that he had to deal with last season as well. So bottom line is this is a sit back and watch type of game for me. I'm not even going to try to jump into the pool and even try to figure out what the hell we're going to get out of Robbie Ray here tonight. What I do know is his season in Seattle a couple years ago was very disappointing. He didn't pitch well. He didn't pitch like he did for the majority of his time in Toronto. So, again, Robbie Ray's a big wait and see for me going into this game with how he fares in this one. Meanwhile, on the flip side, you got Tyler Glasnow, who all of a sudden, we'll see how he fares as well, because his last 2 times we've seen him in the starting rotation here for the Dodgers, he kind of struggled. He gave up 5 runs against the Brewers, 5 runs to this Giants team on 7 hits in 3 innings back on June 29th. So we'll see if he can kind of bounce back here. Now, he has had some time off, which is good. Probably needed it here. We'll see if he can get back on track here for the L.A. Dodgers here and pitch like he did before that. Dodgers have definitely done well against the Giants, 8-3 on the season, head-to-head against San Francisco. It's a pass for me. Again, I hate to pass on it, the late game here, but to me, too many variables. Glasnow hasn't been in the best form. Who the hell knows how Ray is going to play or pitch here in his first time pitching in almost 2 years. So it'll be interesting just to sit back and watch this one for me. It's a tough one to get involved with from a betting perspective. What do you think here, Connor? Giants, Dodgers.
Yeah, Timothy, no for run first inning. Yeah, those numbers are good. I don't bet a ton of those, but they're pretty thrilling. Nerfies.
Yeah,
there.
Instant cash if they win.
Yeah,
if they win. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
Glasnow doesn't look right. I mean, the one problem is this guy's just never gone long. But man, he's always injured. When he was in, he's been great. He's already had a little stint, and those 2 starts right for the break, he just got tattooed. That's why I can't back him. When I see this, I just don't know what we get. Ray, I'm under if these guys are on. But if these guys are, they could just fly over the 8. So I had nothing. And I think there's some value here with the Giants. I just this number's big and it's already come down. 2 days ago it pushed that first five. It was 2-2, but I'd be right back on. I know Robbie Ray. We haven't seen him. I've gone through his minor league starts, which were all right. Classic 4 or 5 innings, but we'll see what we get. It's just been so long since we've seen him. But few Dodgers hit him well. I am on Teoscar Hernandez, the one guy who's just there's a few guys, obviously.
I remember an old teammate of
Ohtani,
Robbie Ray's from his Toronto Blue Jays time. So there you go. Knows him well.
3 for 6, couple home runs. His RBI's plus 145. I took it. So, I think he gets Robbie Ray. Eats lefties.
There you go. And that's the Wednesday MLB card. Like I say, a less amount of games for Connor and I to break down because there's a lot of day games usually on Wednesdays, and that was the case. Hello, Alex Cora. Welcome to your first day getting that brand new 3-year contract extension as manager of the Red Sox.
13-2.
13-2 right now, yeah.
Beat down. Yeah. There's your over.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Isn't that funny? He signs the new contract extension. Whoop, we're down 13-2. Just hours after it became official. So funny.
That's baseball, though.
That's baseball, though.
They just got shut out. They win 6-0, right? Then they get.
That's right, no doubt. So we'll see how that one goes. I mean, I'm on the wrong. This would be a wrong side winner, I think, if it cashes. But I'm on this Astros first 5 full game. Trying to avoid the sweep against Oakland with Hunter Brown, who's been so good lately. But they're being out hit 6-3, and they're kind of clinging to this 2-1 lead right now. So. What's happened?
No, they just haven't scored.
Hitting in this series against Oakland of all teams. Yeah.
Brent Rooker on fire. Yeah, the A's just haven't got any kind of key hits. They probably should have 2 or 3 here.
No, exactly. So Houston's kind of walking a tightrope here with this 2-1 lead right now against Oakland. There you go. Great stuff. Breaking it down here with CMAC on the Wednesday edition of Bet with Bobano. Football's right around the corner. And like I said, I know I've gotten the comments, I've gotten the questions asking about hitting the books. Hitting the books is happening regardless. So you don't have to worry. We will be here for that. Hitting the books Mondays, same day as we've done it for years now, getting ready for college football. So I'm looking forward to that. It's hard to believe, CMAC, 1 more month. 1 month today, August 24th is the first day of college football. It's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I got work to do.
Exactly. No, I've still got some work to do. There's still a few things I've got.
A lot of work to do.
Yeah. It's unbelievable every year how quickly it gets here in the summer months.
But even the first week, they're so. It was week 0. There's only those few games, so even this, you don't got to rush to.
Thursday, August 29th, and then Saturday, August 31st. That's the first full week, really, of college football. Yeah, that's when it feels like it's like we got some big games, too. You got Georgia and Clemson, I know, on that first Saturday, August the 31st. So there's some big college football games coming up. I'm excited because it's the first year of 12-team college football playoff, expanded Big Ten, the super conferences now, Big Ten and the SEC. We'll see how that goes.
I missed the Pac-12. They should have stayed, but yeah.
It's weird. You're going to see, like, you know what we're going to see in the years to come? We're going to see Ohio State at USC on a Saturday night at like 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 Pacific, late on a Saturday night in the years to come, now that they're both in the same conference. So it's crazy how it works out. There's no doubt. All right, let's get to best bets here. Wrap things up. CMAC, best bet for Wednesday night MLB. What are you liking?
Yeah, I was going to go, I think the value a little bit is Tigers first 5, but we'll go D-backs, Royals. Give me the first 5 under 5, minus 115. I think we can cash that.
All right, there you go. That's a first 5 under with Arizona and Kansas City. Best bet for CMAC. My best bet, you mentioned the Tigers. It's actually my best bet. Detroit, I'll go full game. I'll go full game with it. Plus 128. Looks like it's the best price available right now with Jack Flaherty and the Tigers. I took Jack Flaherty and the Tigers Friday night against Toronto. First game after the All-Star break, and Flaherty was lights out, and Tigers won that game. So he's been bet on. Tigers have been a bet on team for me lately too. And Cleveland's kind of sputtering for the first time this season. So live dog, in my opinion, Jack Flaherty and the Detroit Tigers plus 128 for my best bet here for this Wednesday.
Look to real quick. I'm going to be on it as well. Riley Green, red hot before the break, and he just sat yesterday. not crazy numbers, 3 for 11, but look for Riley Green. He's in the 4-hole tonight. Get a ribby or even over 1.5 bases.
Yeah. There was another disappointment about being at that Jays game last night. I took Springer RBI plus 200. He's been red hot, and last night even he hit the shits against.
Well, I had Tovar. That's why I just went back to it. One of the biggest, craziest things is this. There's only been like 3 times where I had the next day these guys come through.
Yeah.
Just odd. It seems there's a few times it did it. Simeon did it. Someone else. Paredes did it lately where he went back to back. But every time the next day, it was just been like clockwork. Like it's like 50 out of 53, Bobano. Wildest shit I've ever seen. Don't get it that day. The next day, bang.
Stick with it the next day. And sometimes I jump off it and then he hits. So sometimes it's just good to stay with it for one more day and it'll come through for you. Yeah.
For this year, it has been. I don't know how, that regularly. It's just been something to see. It's been wild.
Yeah, it's been wild indeed. All right, great stuff. Shout out to Timothy, Hake, Stimmy OG, everyone in the chat, everyone watching right now on either YouTube, X, Facebook, wherever. We're streaming the show every day on multiple platforms when it's live. Hit the like button. We appreciate it very much on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Great stuff for CMAC. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we'll be back with you tomorrow on Thursday for another edition of the show. Bet like Tony Soprano. Bet with Bobano. And we will see you again on Thursday for another edition of Bet with Bobano.